We are truly delighted to welcome all of you to the NISM SEBI Southern Regional Round of the National Financial Literacy Quiz 2025, being hosted today at Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Bangalore. It's a pleasure to welcome all the students, faculty members from across southern India, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana, Kerala, Puducherry, and Tamil Nadu. With more than 50 postgraduate colleges participating today, it's clear that interest in financial literacy is growing, and your presence brings great energy and promise. As you all may be aware, NFLQ 2025 is a part of NISM's broader advocacy efforts to strengthen financial literacy among young learners. The initiative is aimed at undergraduate as well as postgraduate students and is designed to spread awareness about financial markets, investor rights, and the role of market intermediaries. It seeks to empower students with the knowledge they need to make informed decisions and as they step into the financial world. We are privileged to be joined today by our NISM Director, Mr. Sashi Krishnan. Welcome, sir. Mr. Susanta Das, Chief General Manager of SEBI. Welcome to you, sir. And even we have with us Dr. Suresh, Professor of Finance from SIBM. Welcome, sir. All of them bring with them decades of rich experience in capital markets. Their presence today is a source of great encouragement for our students. We now invite our distinguished guests to kindly come on stage for lighting of the lamp to formally inaugurate today's event. Now I will invite our director to please come and welcome our students today.
Welcome to the NISM and SEBI sort of curated National Financial Literacy Quiz. I know it's a pretty tall order calling you guys on a Sunday to give this quiz, but I promise you it's going to be a very exciting day, and more importantly, all those guys who stick around and do well are going to get good prizes. So, hopefully, that will make up for, a lost Sunday. And actually, if you look at the crowd that we have today, I'm not too sure whether any of you would have received, a formal education on, say, budgeting, savings, investing. Most of you would be students of economics and finance, etc. But even in this entire sort of academic ecosystem that we have around finance and economics, there is actually very little that is talked about relating to budgeting, relating to savings, and how savings gets converted into investments, and what is investing all about. Most of us tend to gather information about this, along the way. And one of the reasons why, this kind of a quiz is being curated is that we do believe that the younger generation deserves a lot more than, a trial and error method of learning how to invest and, all about the securities market. And I think SEBI and NISM together, have done a lot of work in trying to sort of create capacity in the securities market ecosystem. And as part of that effort to create capacity in the securities market ecosystem, investor education is also a very, very important part of what we do. And essentially our goal both NISM's and SEBI's goal is to equip the next generation with essential financial skills so that they can make informed financial decisions. And I think the key to this is that, informed financial decisions will actually make, sort of literally make or break many people's lives, over the next couple of years. There are lots and lots of stories that we've heard about people who, with half-baked knowledge have taken certain decisions and, that have sort of impacted them throughout their life. And therefore, we do believe that the most important thing that we need today in this country is financial literacy. And I think with financial literacy will come financial independence. And if we can empower you with those skills and with the knowledge, we will set you towards the path of financial independence, and you will be able to make a lot more, decisions on your own financial life. And I think this goes way, way beyond, things like the simple power of compounding or, how do you balance risk rewards. There are a lot more intricacies which I'm sure as postgraduate students, you will sort of learn along the way. It's actually wonderful to be here in Bangalore, and, it takes me back to 1993 when, one of the first technology companies in the Indian landscape, Infosys, came out with its public issue. And I was managing money, fortunately or unfortunately, in 1993. And we were working out of Bombay. And here was this company that came to market offering, 28 lakh shares at, if I'm not mistaken, something like rupees 95 a share. And if you compare it to the kind of returns that you have made today, if you had bought in at 95 per share, it would have been tremendous. And it was an IPO size of just 2,660. And in this quiz, you will see a lot of questions about IPOs that are more than, 10,000 crores and things like that. But in those days, 2,660 crores was a very large amount of money. And I remember one of the lead bankers to this issue was NISM Securities. And I think NISM Securities came to, me and my team, and they came to place their institutional portion of this, IPO with us. And 60% of that issue was reserved for institutional investors, and 30% of that issue was reserved for, retail investors. And I remember yesterday there was a question as to if you come out with an IPO, what percentage of that, IPO needs to be subscribed for that IPO to be sort of, for that IPO to go through. The answer, of course, was 90%. But nobody was even very sure in those days whether, Infosys would be able to raise money. Today, if Infosys goes to the market, I'm sure, that issue will be snapped up in, an hour. But, then we looked at a couple of very, very serious things which, we as financial analysts would always look at. We looked at the book value of the share, and we found that the book value of the share was something like 24.5 rupees. And we looked at the earnings per share, that was 7.5 rupees. And these are a lot of terms. Hopefully, questions will be asked to you in the quizzes that follow and the rounds that follow. And, when we looked at it, we said, here is an issue that is 4 times book, at 95 rupees. And, close to, 15 times earnings, because the earnings per share was, something close to 7.5 rupees. And, given the fact that in those days we were all very, very conservative investors, today an earnings per share of 50 is not even frowned upon. In those days, earnings per share of even 7.5 rupees was looked at as, very, very, very suspiciously. We asked ourselves a very fundamental question: what are the assets of this company? And then we said, this company has got absolutely no assets. If at all it had its assets, it was people like you and me who walked into the company in the morning, walked out in the evening, with the management not very, very sure whether they would walk in the very next day. So, we said, this doesn't make any sense to us. It's very difficult for us to understand, why we should put our money into these companies. And we did subscribe, correct? And if we had, by the time the issue got over, the issue was subscribed something like 13 times. And if you just put in around 10,000 rupees into that IPO, it would be worth something like 2 crores today. So the point I'm trying to make to you is that it then becomes very, very important for each one of us to look at, the entire financial ecosystem in context. Maybe in the 1993 context, we were right, we were wrong, we don't know. But we do know in hindsight that we made a mistake. And I think one of the key sort of objectives that we want to, leave with all of you after this financial literacy quiz is that we don't want you to come back 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, like people like me, and regret the fact that we didn't invest into Infosys. We want to equip you with the knowledge that, how is it that you should look at financial markets and how you should look at the securities market? And how is it that, the knowledge of financial systems will sort of not only get you financial independence, but will equip you with a life skill that will be very, very important over the rest of your lives. So all the best. There will be some people who will win, some people who will lose. But I'm sure all of you will go a little bit wiser. And if that happens, I think we at SEBI and NISM will be actually very delighted that we've at least been able to touch a few lives. And we do know that if we touch a few lives, you people will go back and touch many more lives. And that will have a cascading effect over time. So all the best. And have a great quizzing today.
I request Sushanta sir to please come and address the audience. Thank you.
Respected Director NISM, Professor Suresh from SIBM, my colleagues from SEBI, NISM, and all the participants, good morning to all of you. I remember one incident when I was one of the panelists and one candidate was appearing for NISM 2-year PG program. And the candidate was asked, what does he do in his spare time? He said he trades in options. Then one of the panel members, he asked him a question that what are the functions of a stock exchange? And that candidate couldn't answer. So imagine a scenario where a person is trading in options, didn't know about the functions of a stock exchange. And those are showing in numbers. So SEBI did a study some time back, and the study shows that 93% of the individual traders, they incur losses when they trade in futures and options. And out of that 43% of the individual traders are of less than 30 years of age. And during FY 22 to 24, the individual traders have incurred losses of staggering amount of 1.8 lakh crore. So these are very telling statistics. So that is why we are here. I think one of the mandates of SEBI is to protect the interest of investors. And one of the important facets of protection is education of investors. So in SEBI, we believe that an educated investor is an empowered investor. As Director Sir has already stated that financial literacy today is an essential life skill. So it is our mission that all the people who venture into securities markets should be well educated, well equipped with financial knowledge before they start investing. That is our mission. So National Financial Literacy Quiz is one of the several steps that SEBI and NISM, both of us, are taking to educate the investors. And we all know that you are very young. Today you are in the campus, but tomorrow you'll be going out and you'll be doing corporate jobs. You'll start earning money. And it is important that you manage your finances well. That will secure your future and your future of your family. Therefore, this is an initiative. So we want you to learn in a very fun manner. So yesterday we had an exciting quiz competition. Today we expect the same, and I wish all the participants the very best. And at the end, I want to thank SIBM for supporting this mission. And thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so before we move to the announcement of results, yesterday in the hands of our director, NISM, Mr. Sashi Krishnan, we had launched a new initiative. This is known as the NISM Reel Making Contest. And this initiative is again a part of NISM's efforts to promote financial literacy and investor education through short creative video reels. It aims to connect with young and digital savvy audiences and raise awareness about India's financial markets. Take a look, please.
NISM Reel Contest 2025. The world of money is changing, but understanding it shouldn't be complicated. Turn your ideas into powerful reels that decode the world of investing and capital markets. Make it simple. Make it yours. Choose your focus. Tell a story around financial literacy, capital markets, or investment awareness. The challenge begins on 5th July 2025. Submit your reel by 30th August 2025. Win prizes worth up to 20,000 rupees with 10 special recognitions too. Whether you're a student, creator, or simply curious, this challenge is for you. Create a reel between 50 to 120 seconds. Use any language. Just add English subtitles. Keep it original and respectful. Not sure where to start? Talk about our mutual funds. A better way to invest is short-term trading in stocks advisable. Lights, camera, finance, start rolling. Submit your reel and help build a smarter, more aware generation of investors.